Let's move it on. This is Common Wolf, and beside me is
Maxwell5123.
Okay, so this is a game called Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. I've never really been a fan of the series, except for this game in particular. In fact, I've hardly played any of the series in general. But this is probably the best in this series from what I've heard. And, most importantly, it's a budget title. Essentially, the developers of the series, Ubisoft, made a big old fumble with the previous one, and now they're trying something back to its roots. As you can tell, I've run through this game like a dozen times, but I'm going back to normal because True West is impossible for me.
He's not a true cowboy.
I was born in the old South States of beautiful Georgia. I confess to being weak in the knees.
Easy, boy.
Anyway, so, in my opinion, this is a very beautiful game, in both cinematics and just general graphics in the game.
Well, the reason for that is it uses a very stylized approach, and a stylized approach can often
Don't
make
believe
something
so.
look unique.
I haven't been
and
here in many
interesting.
years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Let's meet our main
Silas
character.
Greaves?
Silas Greaves.
The bounty hunter?
Used
See?
to be.
This is a
Well,
real
what are
awesome
you doing
name.
here in
If
Abilene?
you're gonna name somebody,
Just passing
name
through.
Silas Greaves. Don't name
Got a
him
little
Hokey
business
Pokes
to take
the
care of.
Matotes.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to
But
buy you a
Silas
beer.
kind of sounds like Silent, which is
Hell,
used for
son, it would be
stolen
my honor
yeah,
to drink
but
it.
Silas
Howdy.
is awesome.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar.
bread. Hey, well, Jake, your
I
word.
bet you got some
Agreed.
great stories.
A couple. Any of them
Any of
true.
them true?
Jack, be nice.
Jack is
A
such a
few.
tool.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's
Beard
gang?
goals right
in Bannock,
there.
Montana.
Please,
Is that where you started
my
as a bounty hunter?
voluptuous beard
That's
of
what it says
peach
in this here
fuzz
dime novel.
makes his jealous.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy.
Haven't you shaved?
I shaved
First man
plenty,
I hunted
but
was
that's
back when I
besides
was
the point.
riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That scrawny son of a bitch had no fear.
Spirit got better.
Wouldn't back down for nobody.
I heard he collected the 10 stars off any
Yeah,
crooked
Billy the
lawman who
Kid's a
crossed
pretty
him.
darn badass, and so is
It was a
Silas.
war, boy.
The Billy Kid's
The
probably
Lincoln
more.
County War. And
Yeah.
Billy promised his
We'll find out
regulators
soon
would
why.
take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on
And I
his
just
shoulder and a
realized
hair
her
trigger temper.
Gazongas
Made him
are
dangerous as
impressive.
hell.
Like, it's a table of mostly guys and then one gal, and she's mostly the boobs. I'm a girl! That's her personality.
I'm a big girl.
And that was an addition that wasn't needed. Alright, so let's get into the game itself.
It was about 30 years ago.
30 years ago,
Billy
I
was
did
hiding
something
out in
very
an abandoned
important.
farm near Stinker
So
Spring.
important it shaped how today was gonna live for the
I
rest of
threw
our
in with the
eternities.
kid because the man I had sworn vengeance
30 years
on was
ago,
riding with
I did
Billy's
something
enemies.
I would
But
never
before I
do
tell
again.
you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day.
This is where
I
you
was
say,
heading back
"What
to
did
the
you
hideout
do?"
when suddenly
What did
I had this
you
funny
do?
feeling.
Huh?
Well, I
Funny.
chose the guns instead of the rifle.
Steve, the other kind of funny.
How come all the guns are there?
Yeah, but I chose the silver shotgun.
That-
No, I actually chose the rifle. What am I talking about? No, I chose the other rifle. Gosh, I can't even remember what I'm doing anymore.
He's a very sporadic person. Anyways, if you haven't noticed, as the game started, it all got constructed. That's because we are playing as he is telling. An interesting little cute thing.
Oh yeah, this
I
is
knew those
indeed
two
a story
morons
being
would never
told,
let me
and
through.
with multiple
I had no
speakers.
choice.
You'll find out why this is important.
All the reload mechanics are by far some of the best I've ever seen.
I also took a direct hit on my first go. Tells
Was
you
it
how my
Pop
accuracy
Garrett's
didn't improve
posse?
at all.
Oh yeah. I heard the shots and
Also,
I knew
you
I
notice
had to
when you
move
get
fast.
hit, it looks like you're ripping us in a movie screen.
Garrett and his army of
I
deputies
just
had
like that kind of
surrounded
thing.
the entire
Look out,
homestead.
cowboys!
I decided to help Billy and the boys out of it.
Shoot him! Shoot him! I got him in the
So
back.
that's
boy.
just what I did. As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kid's apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
So I sort of just ran in here all willy-nilly, drunk on my own invulnerability. So, sort of like the storyteller, I was really aggressive.
Really cocky.
Yeah, probably. Most of my accuracy is really bad.
Garrett's men were running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'm in a pumpkin field.
Unlike me, who is a master at shooting headshots.
Oh,
One of them
please,
reached
you
the
get
water
headshots
tower.
as well as that guy did.
You dodged.
Not a bad
Yeah?
idea.
So do
Would be a
people.
turkey shoot from up there. Luckily,
Okay, so
these
that's
shooters
an
Garrett
introduction
hired
to
weren't
my
the
favorite
sharpest
mechanic in
tools
the
in
game.
the shed. The right
dodge.
position is very
Basically,
important.
your HP is dropped
Personally, I
to a
prefer
certain
to be
amount,
on top.
and then someone's
you
delivering the
do,
killing
do
blow. Slow-mo, and you can get the chance to
Indeed,
dodge.
darling. But where
If you
was
fail
I?
to dodge, you die.
Oh yeah.
And it
A
is
lot of them were
Possible
saddle
dodge,
tramps,
and you have
side
another chance to
busters, or
possibly do
drunken
another
drifters looking to make a few
yeah,
bucks.
but you go and get a slow recharge. Now, as most of you noticed, I have all the powers unlocked because I played through this game like a dozen times.
Then, I heard a friendly
Yeah,
voice yelling
it
at me
was an
from the window.
experience
Back
to,
door!
to witness
We'll
that.
cover you! Watch your flank! Truth be told, things weren't much better behind the house.
By experience, I mean,
I cut their numbers in half.
I'm trying to
But
figure out
that
who's
just
shooting
made
at
the
me.
ones that were left twice as mad. They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless
maybe
supply
it's
of
the
ammo.
ghost of Christmas past.
Maybe this seamlessly endless supply of ammo is the fact that the computer is a gosh darn cheater.
It was a bit of a slog,
The
but
computer
I
never runs
finally
out of
fought
ammo.
my
Yeah,
way
but-
around the back of the house.
You can say that about anyone. Well, I guess.
The one skill I didn't have yet.
And like that, I was inside.
None the worse.
None the worse for wear.
Yes, he magically
I
avoided all the
passed Dirty
bullets.
Dave,
Yes.
and
look at those
upstairs
beer
I
bottles.
found Billy and Charlie Bolton.
Just the amount of detail that they managed to get out here is impressive.
How about that? You're done. You like that?
Like a paintbrush.
Oh, Billy the Kid. Looking just like he did when he was played by Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise? Did Tom
Which
Cruise
one killed
ever
by
play?
Did he kill like a
Billy
person
looked at
every
me
year
and
for his
said,
birthday? Like,
"About
my
time,
birthday gift
amigo.
is murdering
Grab
me."
a gun and
it
get
was
to the window."
More just the
Wait,
fact that
so
he was
you were friends
managed
with
to
Billy
become
the Kid?
a wanted criminal at such a young age.
Yeah, sort of.
And I'm
Anyway,
pretty
we
sure
were
Tom Cruise
surrounded
has
by
never
dozens
played
of
Billy the Kid.
deputized shooters who
Correct me
wanted
if
to
I'm
do
wrong.
us harm.
Please do.
I honestly don't know. I don't really watch old movies.
Well, Tom Cruise hasn't been in any old westerns. He's been in a lot of and before he became Space Pro.
Who's the guy who played the good, the bad, and the ugly?
That, I believe, is
I'm
Clint
telling
Eastwood.
you, Garrett's men were dropping
Okay.
like flies, but they just kept on coming.
Wasn't McCree Mohawk modeled after him?
Let's just admit it, every single cowboy in movies and history is modeled in some way after Clint Eastwood. Even Clint Eastwood models himself after Clint Eastwood.
That's when Charlie got hit. "You're catching us in a crossfire," shouted Billy. "Get to the other
Get
side."
to the window! Get through the window! To the walls! Yeah, there isn't much to the game besides just shooting people as fast as you can.
And listening to the witty battle.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have a prime example of that soon enough.
Oh, the witty battle.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of
Please
valor.
don't read ahead of me.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut
But yeah,
and run.
it's time to cut
They
and
got
run.
a Gatling, Billy
Cut and
shot.
drive. Cut the cheese.
Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention.
We have a gap.
He directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to
How
do
did you miss that dude?
I missed him because he got lost.
it? Many would have fled in my place. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack here.
What are you saying, old man?
Jack, he's just joshing with you now.
Yeah,
I'm Josh
he
with
better
Jack.
be.
Mr. Graves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas, man.
I'll get better at it by the end of the game.
Where was I?
You were heading for the barn.
Right. Making my way past a passel of fallen
Ammo
foes.
wasn't that. Well, I
Sounds
guess
like
there
Garrett
was.
hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
That's a game
Yeah.
too, so you could probably
And just when I
fudge
thought
how
I
much
was
ammo
done
you
with
had.
them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up. Finally,
Well,
I
it's a
had the
story.
stables within my reach.
Just lie that you had like a
After the fight, maybe we could treat ourselves to some fried chicken.
my trusty ammo back.
My trusty ammo pack and oh my beer.
Why were you trying to shoot a chicken?
Yeah.
And that's when I
Talks
met
about it.
Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star.
Oh yes.
Paintbrush.
Watch here. This is gonna get fancy.
And now we meet the next mechanic of the game.
The dual mechanic. This has been in all the Call of Juarez games, from what I understand, right?
I've only played Gunslinger.
Okay, so in pretty much all the Call of Juarez games that I know of, there is a dual mechanic
You
in
challenged
which
him to a
you
showdown.
adjust your aim
You read that in a
and
dime
focus
novel?
to who's how accurate you
It
are.
said he showed no
Also, it's
fear
how
as he
fast you
took
can
your
draw
measure
your
with
gun.
eyes like a rattlesnake.
And right here is where I'm getting fancy.
Fancy, fancy.
You're not going to mention how it's fancy? It should be obvious.
I think they're really good at focusing ammo.
It's black and white!
I honestly did not notice that.
There's a part of me that is very sad now. Also, if you thought that was bad,
And that you
he
killed him
actually killed me
in
the
a fair
first time.
fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met
killed
Pat Garrett.
I actually edited
So
that
let
out.
me start again. I finally reached those damn stables.
Oh,
I shot, and I missed. I shot, and I missed.
yeah, right there he said that's right there in the rewind. He had to call it first. Because he might remember stuff, and someone might correct him or something, then he can restart at a certain point.
Stepped inside, and
I see Matt Garrett.
Last
has,
thing I heard
Matt
was
Garrett
Garrett's
has
voice.
Mastered the stealth
That's
abilities
not
of the
Billy.
predators.
And go on. How did it
You see
end?
just appeared in the
And-
void there.
boy, that was just the beginning.
All right, and this is the end of the first video. Like, subscribe, and tell us what you think in the comments below. We might take some of your
And
comments
we-
into suggestion.